Hi everyone, it's Mr. Hoffman. I'm so excited to share with you a new app called Flat.io. Here are the directions for this assignment. This week, we will start using an app called Flat.io. It is a notation editor, which is an app that lets you write and edit written music or music notation. It even lets you listen back to what you wrote so you can hear what it sounds like. In this assignment, you will complete a tutorial to help you explore and learn how to use Flat.io. Follow the directions in this presentation and video to complete your assignment. Read the directions, they are in the slideshow, but also watch this video of me explaining the assignment. You can either watch the whole video first or follow along with the video as you do the assignment. You'll watch a little bit, pause it, do what that little bit is asking you to do, or you can watch the whole video first and then try to go and do everything. You can always come back to the video if you forgot something. Getting started. Well, first things first, we have to click the link in Google Classroom to open Flat.io. I should mention that that this link it looks like there are two on here, but this one will only appear after you have started the assignment. So let's take a look and try to find this link on the assignment. Here we go. So you'll see it says my first score. You can see that it's due on May 1st at 11:59. Or it will be due when it is due. I'll have to update that due date. And you'll see the instructions and you'll see this link here. So let's click the link and now it'll ask you to sign in. Notice on this page, you can actually change the language if you want. If you prefer in Spanish, I personally prefer English, but if you do prefer Spanish, you can change it in the drop-down menu here. Then you can click sign in with Google. And at this point, let's click that. So here we are. The pop-up has come up. It says choose an account to continue. And I'm going to click this account. This is my example account. And you'll see that your classes will come up. You're going to click on your class, whether it's 5C or 5D. I'm going to click on this one. And I can see in my assignments, I can see my first score. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And you'll see the slideshow is linked here. And I'll also link this video as well afterwards. And then when you are ready, you're going to click the green Start Assignment button. It will ask you to confirm the title here. It will generate a title automatically. In this case, the name on my account is Music Pantoja, but let's say that your name is Eugene Krabs. You can put your name there, but your name will already be there because of your account with Pantoja, your Google account. So you'll click continue. And at this point, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. Yes, before you get to that point, it will ask you to allow access to your Pantoja Google account. You'll scroll past all this. I promise you it's going to be fine. And then you'll click allow. I have already done that on this account to get that screenshot. So I can't show you that directly, but this is what it will look like. You'll just scroll all the way down and you'll click allow. Moving forward, you'll click that green Start Assignment button and you'll confirm the title. And now you will see everything here. Okay, so you can add instruments or start with a template. What you'll do if you want to search for a particular instrument like trumpet, you can start typing it and it'll be there. Click the plus button to add. Or you can click through the menus here. Let's say I want xylophone. I can find it in pitched percussion and I'll click xylophone and we'll see that there. And what this does is it changes the sound that you'll hear when you play your score, or some other things as well, possibly some other things. In this case, I'm going to recommend that you start with a template. You're going to click treble clef right here, and then when you are ready, you'll click create. We're just going to add one staff this time. When you do your when you create your first score, you will find, I want to see if I can. You will find it asks you to go through this little tutorial here. It will come up with a bunch of different things, and you'll click through. You'll use these arrow keys. You'll click through, and then it will take you to your first score. So at this point, let's go back to the slideshow. Creating your score. So this is the score editor, and there are a bunch of things that you need to take note of. Your score title is nice and big in the right at the top and in the center. The staff appears over here. We have 4 beats in this. We know this because look at that. There's the time signature. 1, 2, 3, 4. And those beats are empty right now. That symbol is a rest, meaning it's a period of silence for that length. In this case, it's a quarter rest, so it'll be 1 beat of silence. The selected beat or note is highlighted in blue. You can see that here. And then the note durations, when you go to change them, they will be up here in the toolbar. And you can change toolbars by going here, note, measure, and text, and you'll see that you'll see that up at the top. And for this one, we are only going to be using 2 toolbars, note and measure. And then later on, we might actually add more toolbars besides these 3, but I've limited it to that for now. So to put in notes, you can do that in one of 2 ways. You can move your mouse over the staff until you see the outline of the note on the line or space, and then click on the staff to add the note shown on that line or space. And notice that it automatically selects the next empty beat after you input the note. So let's take a look at that as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, of course, you can use your keyboard. I will show you both. You can use your keyboard to input the notes. Really, it is possible to do that. You'll just press the button on your keyboard that goes along with the letter name of the note. So if I want to put in the note G, I will type on my keyboard, like on my laptop keyboard or my other keyboard, I will find the G key and I will press it. And that will be how I get a G. And I can do that with A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So let's take a look. All right, so I'm on here. You can see my mouse. I can click and I can hover over. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit, make it a little easier to see. Notice that you can see the note and on a line or space. If I go above, the ledger lines will be added. But like, let's say I want to start on that first line. I'm going to hover over until I see the note. And I clicked, and you should have just heard the note. I can click again to select it. And if I don't, if I made a mistake, if I didn't want that, I can click backspace, or I can click this button in the toolbar, remove an element. Or notice that I have other options here. I can use the arrow keys to move around, but I have other options. Let me show you the keyboard. Notice what happens when I start touching the letters on the keyboard. Now, I'm actually typing on my keyboard. I just brought this up to show you. This is an example. You're obviously not going to see this on your screen, but you're going to use the actual keyboard that is on your actual laptop. All right, so let's take a look. I press the E key, I get E. I press F, I get F. G, A. And the thing that I also want to point out to you is that when you reach the end of a measure, a new measure will be automatically created. So let me close this guy. And that's what this slide is all about. When a measure gets filled up, a new empty measure will be automatically added to the end. Of course, unless there is a measure that already has notes in it. Yeah, if there's a measure that already has notes in it after the measure that you filled up, then you'll just go to the next beat. But if it's at the end and the measure gets filled up, then there will be a new measure created. So now that you know how to input notes, fill up the first two measures with any notes you wish. Use quarter notes. So there will be 4 notes in each measure, 1 on each beat. Here's an example of me composing a part of a song. I'm going to use my mouse to click here. And one really cool thing that I can do is I can listen back to my score. So take a look. Let's see that in action. I'll go to the point that I want to start playing from, and I'll either click this play button up in the menu bar, or I will click the space bar. Very good. I'm going to change this to a half note just because. And now we have a little bit of a conundrum here because we want to add more measures. All right, there are 2 ways to add new measures to the score. We want our song to be longer, right? The first way is as I showed before, an empty measure will appear automatically when the measure before it is filled up. But we can also add empty measures at any time manually by clicking on Insert Measure After in the Measure toolbar. So let's go ahead and do that. And well, what are we going to do with that? We're going to add additional empty measures to the score until there are 8 measures total. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to make sure that I'm in the measure after the one or before the one. I'm in the measure that I want to start adding measures after. Then I'll go up here to my menu bar and I'll click Insert Measure After. And notice that added just 1 measure, which is great. But watch what happens if I'm not in that last measure. It's now put an empty measure in the middle. We don't want that in this case. For now, we want to have Insert Measure After. So let's click that button until we have 8 measures total. Now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 measures total. You'll notice that it's spaced it out the way that it wants it. So if we have fewer measures on the line, then they will be a little less squished together. So now we have 8 empty measures, or we have 6 empty measures and 2 measures that are full. And in order to do the rest of this assignment, you need to know how to change the length of notes and rests. So to do that, to change the duration of a new note or a note that already is on your score, find the duration you want in the toolbar and then click it. Whatever note or rest you have selected at that point will automatically change to that new duration. And any note that you put in after that will also be that new duration. You can also use the number keys on the keyboard to work a little bit faster once you get comfy with it. To get an eighth note, you'll press 4, quarter note is 3, half note is 2, whole note is 1, and that's not the number of beats. It's just the number that you're going to press on the keyboard to get that kind of note. Of course, we know that an eighth note is half a beat, a quarter note is a beat, a half note is 2 beats, and a whole note is 4 beats. So let's take a look here. This one was a quarter note to start with. To get that, I selected it. I made sure I was on the note toolbar, and I pressed half note. I could also just press the number 2 on my keyboard. So I'm going to keep going, and you are going to, oh wait, let's keep going. So here's the video check, all right? Now that you know how to write different note lengths, you're going to fill in measures 3 and 4 with the exact, and I mean exact, notes and rhythms in the red box below. Rhythms, there we go. And you're going to leave the last 4 measures blank. We will come back to them next week. So let's do that. So we have a quarter note. And it will automatically put the beam in there for you. All right, so now we have the whole thing. Let's take a listen. And notice that when there are rests, it doesn't sound because there is nothing to play. Those are rests, that means silence. So this is how I will know that you watched the video. If your measures 3 and 4 are exactly like this, make sure it is exact. All right, I am deleting this picture and before I post, so make sure that you do that. Now, how to turn in your work. So when your score is finished, you'll need to turn it in. Make sure you took care of all of the requirements first, including filling up the first 2 measures, adding empty measures so that there are 8 measures total, and the video check that I just went over. Next, you'll click the fancy Turn In button in the menu bar. You'll select the assignment that you want to turn in. This time there's only one, and then you'll click the blue Turn In button. The assignment will be automatically turned in on Flat and on Google Classroom. So let's do that. I see the Turn In button up here. This is the assignment. I'm going to click Turn In. And boom, there it goes. So now, if I look on here and I refresh, it is submitted. It is turned in. So that's it. Congratulations, you done it. That's the end. Check your work and enjoy the rest of your week. Looking forward to seeing your beautiful, wonderful compositions. Bye.